to learn this technique, the first thing you have to do is learn how to use your tools. So you want to take your mechanical pencil and make sure you've got that 2B lead in there, and you're going to learn how to blend. Now, I start all my students this way, learning how to go dark to the white of the paper seamlessly. You don't want to see the choppiness, you don't want to see scribble lines, and it looks a lot easier than it really is. This is what most people come up with at first, and no amount of blending is going to blend that mess out and make it look smooth. And smoothness is the key to this technique. So let me demonstrate it for you, because I never tell anybody to do something that I don't show them how to do it first. So we're going to take just your piece of paper, and the first thing is how to hold your pencil. All right? Now, when you're pushing really hard and you want to get this real dark tone, the last thing you want to do is hold your pencil at the side, because you're just going to snap that lead. So to put a lot of pressure on it, you're going to have to hold it kind of perpendicular. And that was a piece of lead breaking in my pencil that fell out, and that's going to happen to you too, so don't freak out. So anyway, you're going to hold it straight up and down, perpendicular, and you're going to push. And you're going to go up and down firmly, and then back and forth at the same time. Now you can see how I'm getting a little bit of the pencil line thing, but just keep going back and forth, and it's that back and forth and up and down process that's going to make that fill in. See how you can't really see the pencil lines anymore? And that is key to this technique. Now, you're going to want to lighten your touch, and you're going to come over to the side here, move over to the right, and you're going to slowly lighten these tones. So we're going dark to light. And it takes practice. If you've not used a mechanical pencil before, it's not going to feel normal. So just give yourself some time, be nice to yourself, and give yourself the proper practice, because practice is everything. Now, as I get lighter, you see I've probably pulled back on the pencil a little bit. That's so I can't put as much pressure on it. And when I'm going lightly, I can put the pencil kind of on its side and relax a little bit. And you really do want to relax, because if you try to over control your pencil lines, they end up looking stiff like that. So you just kind of let it flow. Just lighten up a little bit and just let it go back and forth lightly. And just keep going until you lighten up, going into the white of the paper. If you see little areas like that, just kind of go fill them in. And just keep going back and forth and up and down until it fades. Okay, now take your time when you're doing this. I know this isn't real interesting, and this part of the process it seems a little elementary, but really part of your practice is going to learn patience, because you have to take your time to make it look good. So when you finally kind of get out to this direction here where it's fading to the white of the paper, just kind of go back, make sure you like what you see, and then stop. And that's where these tortillons are going to come into play. Okay? Now, these you're going to hold at an angle. You don't want to use the tip, because if you use the tip, they are spiral wound, and they're going to end up like this if you use the tip too much, and they're going to flatten out. And I can always tell when one of my students has been pushing too hard and using the tip, because I go over and they've got a whole bunch of these that look like this. Now, it's not ruined if it's like this, and I'm going to give you a little trick right here. Just take a paper clip and kind of straighten it out a little bit, and this is going to become your tortillon rescue kit. Every house should have one. But when they get blunt, you can just take this and repair your tortillon. The only time you want to throw these away is if they unravel, like the one that I pitched, or if the tip is like bending over and everything and you can't use it anymore. Okay? So you're going to take a tortillon, preferably a clean one at this juncture, and you're going to hold it at an angle. If you hold it too flat, these little ridges are going to leave marks in your paper, and if you hold it too blunt, it's going to get blunt. So we're just going to start right where we began, and that's in the dark, and we're going to use the same process. We're going to go up and down and back and forth, and this tortillon is going to take that graphite and smooth it out and make it real polished looking. And it also helps fill in and get rid of your pencil lines, and you're just going to go very slow, just like what I'm doing right here. Now, I used to think if I pushed really hard, I was going to get a better blend. And I used to just overblend everything, thinking, you know, the harder I pushed, the more that graphite was going to behave. And I was so wrong. Actually, all I was doing, and of course it took me years to figure this out, so, you know, learn from me, do what I say, not what I do. Use a very, very light touch, because that keeps the graphite on the outside surface of the paper. Because if you use a lot of pressure like I used to, you're embedding it and you're roughing up the paper, and that graphite's not going to go anywhere. And I could not figure out why I had little blotches. Why couldn't I get it smooth? And it's because the harder I pressed, the more I was rubbing it into the paper. It took me a long time to figure that out. So learn at the beginning to go very, very lightly.